Hello, guys. Hello. Welcome to day number 16 of the Live Your Authentic Life Challenge. Yes, guys, we are already on day number 16. I am T. Renee Smith, founder of the Authentic Woman's Inner Circle, where we teach you how to build profitable businesses, raise extraordinary kids, rekindle the flame in your marriage, all while staying true to yourself and to your values. So guys, we are rocking and rolling here on 21 Days to Live Your Authentic Life Challenge. So today is going to be all about how you actually attain your goals for the new year, or as people call them, New Year's resolutions. So we want to make sure that we get those goals accomplished and we don't start off the year and end it the same way. So I always like to do a recap of yesterday, which was day number 15, and we talked about being the woman or the man that you were destined to be. We talked about living your authentic life, getting rid of being concerned about what other people think about you, other people's agenda for you, and standing in your own truth. We talked about how to walk in forgiveness, and so it was just a lot of great information to immediately be able to apply in your life so that you would be okay with pissing people off or upsetting people because you're living your authentic life. A lot of times we talked about people have you in this mode and they want you to do what they want you to do, but it was really about breaking free from any past bondage, breaking free from everybody else's expectations, and walking in your authentic life. So if you did not see yesterday's video or complete your action assignment, I want to make sure that you do that because each day builds upon the other day. You can register for the challenge at trenesmith.com/authentic. trenesmith.com/authentic. We're on day number 16, but when you register for the challenge, it's going to take you all the way back to day number 1 and bring you up to where we are today because I don't want you to miss anything at all. So, hey Reginald, how are you? Hey Christopher, hello. So let's really jump into goal setting, and not just goal setting, but attaining our goals. And there's some really key things that people miss when they're setting goals. They simply say, oh my gosh, I want to do this, I want to do that. But as we talked about throughout the challenge, there are going to be 4 things that you need to do to be successful in your life. And it still rings the same or still rings true with attaining your goals. Number 1, you got to have the right mindset. Number 2, you've got to have the right information. Number 3, you got to have the right strategy. And then number 4, you have to have accountability, or the right accountability. Because when life happens, as it often does, who's going to be there to push you to ensure that you achieve your goals? So I know a lot of people set, or the buzzword around goal setting is SMART. Set SMART goals. And what SMART means is that they need to be specific. They need to be measurable. They need to be action-oriented, they need to be realistic, and they need to have a timetable to it. So again, let's go over that real quick. When you're setting SMART goals, it needs to be specific. Your goal needs to be, I want to do X amount by, this day, or I want to make this amount of revenue by this date, or whatever the case is. You want to be specific. You want it to be measurable, so you know how you will be successful. You want it to be achievable. You don't want to set an unrealistic goal. You want it to be realistic, and you want it to have a timetable. Hey, Simone, good morning. How are you? So, in taking these SMART goals, I broke it down into 10 steps because I'm very much a step-by-step person and I want it to make sense. So the very first thing that you have to do to ensure that you accomplish your goal and not just wish or dream is you have to see yourself obtaining the goal. And that goes towards your mindset. You've got to visualize what achieving this goal looks like. You've got to be able to see yourself doing it. If you want to start a business, for instance, and you want it to be a multi-million-dollar business or a 6-figure business, you have to visualize yourself doing that. You're not going to be able to obtain a goal if you can't see yourself doing it. Same thing if you want a certain type of position or job, if you want a certain type of relationship, if you want to have, kids, whatever the case is, if you want to lose weight, you have to visualize it. So the first key in making sure you obtain your goal is to visualize it, to be able to see yourself there. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Once you accomplish that goal, oh my God, what would your life be like? So visualize it. Okay. The second thing that you want to do is you want to ensure that the goal aligns with your values. A lot of times when I work with clients, they set these goals and it does not align with the values, the core of who they are. They're setting this goal because somebody else feels like they should do it, or they're setting this goal because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. I still don't know who the Joneses are. So you've got to make sure that your goal aligns with your values, the core essence of who you are, because you're not going to be able to put the work in to achieve the goal if it does not align with who you are. I see this happen a lot with women or even with men. So one example is one of my clients, her husband had these high expectations of her, of what he expected for her. Now, she's very aggressive, go-getter, ambitious. He wanted her to be a stay-at-home mom. So she went through all these goals. We went through these goal setting and plans or whatever. And I knew it wasn't going to work because it didn't align with who she was. On the other end, I had a client. It was a man. I do work with males too. And his wife wanted him to be this very, aggressive entrepreneur. That was not him. He liked working a corporate job. And so he started out to plan his business or whatever. What happened? It flopped because it was not aligned with who he was. So make sure that your goals are aligned with who you are and what you value. Okay. Number 3 is you have to understand your return of investment. What does that mean? Most goals that you set are going to take time. And so you have to make sure that whatever this goal is going to give you the payback that you want. So for instance, if you say that I want to lose weight, okay, and you want to lose 30 pounds, it's going to take you some time to lose that 30 pounds. So you've got to make sure that your return on investment is going to be enough in order to do what is required to lose the weight. So for instance, your return on investment may be you're able to get into your clothes. Another return on investment may be you may have more energy. Another return on investment may be you may like the way that you look. So you've just got to make sure that the return on investment is going to be worth you actually putting the time in and sacrificing. Number 4 is so important. You've got to calculate the investment. What is going to be required for your time, your money, creating a support system, what is going to be required. So oftentimes we burn out real quick with our goals because we've not calculated the investment. So normally if people are not able to achieve, I was researching this, their goals within 2 to 3 years where they're able to see it, they're not going to even start, right? So you've got to calculate the cost. What is it going to cost my family? What is it going to cost my marriage? What is it going to cost me? Am I going to have to lose sleep? Am I going to have to get up early? Am I going to have to stay up later? Am I going to have to invest money to get a coach? Am I going to have to learn more? What is going to be the investment? You've got to start upfront from the beginning. Yesterday I had a meeting and it was in reference to doing some supplier diversity training. And it was so key because a lot of the companies that get certified to do supplier diversity, they have not calculated the cost. They think that they're going to get certified and business is going to start coming their way. No, it takes some companies 6 months, 2 years, 3 years to obtain a contract. So you've got to understand what's going to be invested. And then you've got to make the real decision and be honest with yourself if you're willing to put in the work in order to accomplish your goal. Therefore, you will not burn out quickly. If you know it's going to take 6 months, a year, or whatever the case to accomplish it, then you'll be there doing it. If it's going to require you getting up early in the morning, you make a commitment and then you do it. Okay, so you got to calculate the investment that is required. The next thing that you have to do is you have to set realistic expectations because it is going to be delayed gratification, right? Most goals that you set for yourself, if they're big goals and they're stretching you, is not going to happen overnight. So you've got to understand that. So you can't say, hey, I want to start a business, and I say this all the time, on Monday, and by Friday I want it to be 6 figures. Doesn't happen like that. You've got to be okay with sacrificing maybe time spending with your family or whatever the case is to reach that goal. So understand that there's going to be some kind of delayed gratification. So you got to set realistic expectations. The next thing is you got to overcome obstacles. And a lot of times the obstacles are ourselves, our mindset, us believing that we're going to be able to do it. So whatever obstacles you have, whether it's time, whether it's resources, whether it's support. Let's say you want to do a goal and maybe your wife or your husband does not support you. How are you going to overcome that obstacle? Because that is huge. And I know dealing with a lot of my female clients, initially when they start off, most of them have been doing well. And then when they branch out full-time into their business, some of them are not making as much money as they were. And so their husbands are like, well, what's going on? What's happening? When is it going to happen? And so they don't have that support. So what are you going to do to overcome the obstacles? If you need money to accomplish your goals and you don't have it, what are you going to do to overcome the obstacle? The next thing is you've got to build your village. It is so important for you to have people supporting you as you go through your goal setting process. A lot of times we fade out, we burn out really quick because we don't have that accountability. I often say raising a business or building a business takes the same kind of village that it does to raise a child. If you're raising a child that is, healthy and whole and emotionally connected, heck, if you want a great marriage, it's going to take a village of people around you that understand what you go through, that support you, that give you that kick in the behind, that push in order to make sure that you achieve your goals. So don't go at your goals alone. If you have friends that have the same mindset, that are moving in the same direction as you do, have them to be your accountability partners. If you do not, hire a coach. Heck, call me. I'll work with you in coaching. But you got to have somebody to push you, right? Because most of us will get tired at some point and will end up quitting and maybe not achieving the level of goals that we wanted to if we don't have that accountability. The next one that you want to do is to change your belief system, right? That kind of goes along with, like we were talking about, overcoming your obstacles. So when I was researching, guys, and preparing for this message, the average American watches 4 hours of TV a day or on social media 4 hours. Do you know how much time that is over a lifetime? That's approximately 13 years, right? So a lot of people are like, well, I don't have enough time. I have so much on my plate. No, you have time to do those things that you want to do. If you're not doing it, then it's because it's not a priority for you and you really don't want to do it. So let's get real, people. If you want to do it, you'll find the time. If that means getting up 30 minutes earlier, if it means, going to bed 30 minutes later, if it means on your lunchtime you're working, if it means you're not always talking on the phone to your friends, whatever the case, men, you're turning the football game off. I know what a sin, but if you really want to do it, you will find the time. So you have to change your mindset of it's too hard. I don't have the time. It's going to take too long. Okay. You've got to change your belief system in order to accomplish the goal. And then the last thing, or it's two more things. The next thing that you want to do is to identify the resources that you need. So once you've overcome the obstacles of understanding this is what I need and maybe I don't have, now you've got to figure out how to get those resources, whatever they are. And the final thing, number 10, is you have to know that you can do it. You have to personally know. You have to personally know that you can do it. Don't wait on somebody else to give you the permission to achieve your goals. Don't wait on somebody else to validate you to achieve your goals. If you're in a marriage or a relationship or a friendship where they're not as supportive as you want them to be over your goals, take step by step to show progress. The biggest way to gain support is for people to see progress, for people to see it works. I've seen it time and time again with my clients. Maybe their husband was not initially supportive of the business, but doggone it, 6 months, a year, 2 years later, when they raking in that money, they are like, oh my God, I knew that you could do it. Congratulations. You're so smart. So if you're in a situation where people are not supportive of you, prove them wrong. Prove yourself right. Make little progress, step by step. I tell people, when you have a big goal all the time, or not all the time, when you have a big goal, you have to create small wins. Every single day, you should be celebrating yourself with a win. Even if it's not a huge win, every day sit down and look over what went well. What did you do right? What is your win for the day? So when you have these little bitty wins, that's going to keep you pushing until you get that big win, right? So guys, we went over 10 strategies or 10 key things that you need to do to ensure that you reach your goals and that it's not just a dream, right? So it's going to be realistic. We're going to set time frames. We're going to understand what is required. What is the investment? We're going to visualize ourselves in seeing us accomplish that goal. We're going to create a support system. We're going to give ourselves permission to go and accomplish our goals, right? So your action assignment today is to go back and to listen to the top 10 things that you need to do to accomplish your goals. And then let's write out what your goals are for 2017. And when you're writing out your goals, you need to make sure that you look and make sure that each one of these areas are covered. And one thing that I say, instead of having 20 goals or 10 goals, pick out 2 or 3 goals that you're really, really working on and set your plan of action for those goals. And you might have to work at your goals one at a time if they're really huge and big goals. Okay, so make sure that you get that accountability and that you have the right mindset, the right information, the right strategy that you are implementing, and the accountability. All right, guys, this is day number 16, which is all about achieving and obtaining those goals that you have. This works at any time. If it's going into a new year, or if you just say, I want to do something different, I want to change my life, I want to achieve these goals, go over these 10 things, stick to it, and watch how your life changes. So guys, if you have not registered for the 21 Days to Live Your Authentic Life Challenge, you can register at treneesmith.com/authentic. And as I tell you every day, you are great, and there is greatness on the inside of you, kicking and screaming to get out. You are your biggest asset, your knowledge, your ability, your experiences. Somebody is waiting for you to share those, to share your personal story, to share your testimony so that they can walk in their light. So when you're letting your light shine, when you're walking in your purpose, you give others the permission to do the same. And you can live free from fear, from guilt, from doubt, from worry, and you can live your authentic life. So I am signing off. Thank you so much for everybody that joined me today. I am T. Renee Smith, founder of the Authentic Woman's Inner Circle. Hey, Vince, amen. Where we teach you how to build profitable businesses, raise extraordinary kids, rekindle the fire in your marriage, all while staying true to yourself and your values. Thank you guys so much for the hearts and the thumbs up. I so appreciate it. Hey, Christopher, thank you. It's all about getting out of your own way. Christopher, if you are not preaching it right there, because I know I said I was about to close, but I really am about to close, but Christopher just stirred it up in me. We are our biggest obstacle, right? We say it's the man, it's her, it's him, she did it, it's my clients, it's my boss, whatever the case is. No, 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 no. It is you. It's you. It's the inner me. Like a lot of people say it's the enemy, like the enemy is attacking me. A lot of times it is the inner me or inner enemy. And I'm not saying that tragic things do not happen to good people. I'm not saying that bad things don't happen to good people. So sometimes we may not be able to control the circumstance, but we do have the ability to control how we respond to that circumstance. So if there's something in your life that you don't want, if there's somewhere bigger or different that you want to go to in your life, it is ultimately your responsibility. It's nobody else holding you back. If you're in relationships where it's not giving you the freedom to breathe, to grow, to express yourself, if you're having to try to be somebody else in relationships, your career, your business, it is your responsibility to live your authentic life, to make those situations right. So do not give anybody else your power. Take your power back and understand that it is you that is in control of your life. Amen. Amen, guys. I felt like I was preaching right there. I need to send around the offering plate to get an offering, right, guys? You know how they do it in church, honey. Oh, that was good. I need to give an offering. But anyway, guys, I really come to you every day, and I have been and will be for, the next few days, which would total 21 days, is because I want you to get it. So many times people have, whatever excuse, but there is no excuse. If you want it, go get it, drop the excuses. And I pour my heart out to you and I share with you and I give because I know regardless of what the circumstances are, you can achieve your goals. I've not really given my full testimony, which I will shortly, but let me just give you a little snippet of it. When I got married, I was married for 4 months when I went to serve 1,095 days in federal prison. Yes, federal prison. I was pregnant with my first child when I went to prison. I had been in a mentally abusive relationship for 10 years prior to that. I could have gone in the situation and I could have been, woe, it's me. I could have been, my life has been wasted. I could have done a whole lot of things. But what I realized at that time, it wasn't the situation that had me confined, even though I was in physical confinement, but it was my mind. And if I was able to get control of my mind, if I was able to believe, think positively and shift and change the way that I thought, then anything was possible. So while I was in federal prison, and I know I don't look like it now, and I say that very humbly, I give it to God, that's where my purpose was birthed. That's where my coaching, my teaching, my training, my programs was birthed. So regardless of what kind of situation you're in, God will use that situation to propel you. And I tell you to this day, even though it was difficult to get through, I would not change it for the world. And because I went through that, that's how I'm able to pour my heart out to you. So in closing, for the second or third time, do not allow yourself to be your obstacle in your life. Decide what you want to do. Align yourself with the people that can help you get there, that have already been through it, and then go live your authentic life and walk into your purpose. Okay, guys, I really am going this time. Vance, thank you so much. Christopher, everybody else that attended, thank you. And I will see you right back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. Well, no, I do the prayer call tomorrow at 8 a.m. So I won't see you at 8 a.m., but I'll see you guys right back here tomorrow. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.